It's about to go down. There's a PvP meta, a Trials meta going on that no one is noticing. No one's paying attention. I check every player that has some of the makeup of the build. None of them are doing this. It's extremely easy and you don't have to do much at all. And it's one of the strongest things in the game. Crazy strong. I've seen things like 6 Coyote, some other things, but with what you're getting ready to do, it's extremely aggressive. There are 6v6 things to do, there are Trials things to do, and it starts with the acrobatic dodge. Hunter, as we know, is the only one that gets Radiant on demand, and they can give it to allies. Radiant in PvP gives around 10% more damage. On some weapons, some combinations, that's more than enough. Your only objective, max 10 tier mobility, because the base acrobatic dodge is 1 minute 22 seconds. Next thing, the Frosties. This is a 1minute 22 base dodge. At tier 10 mobility, when you're sprinting with Frosties, you get it back in 20 seconds. 20. If you go the extra mile, maybe you add in a kickstart mod on a stasis class item. You get it back in 18 seconds. Maybe you go double kickstart. You get it back in 17 seconds. It's very fast, but it could actually go even faster. For your aspects, when you slot in knock 'em down, on your mark, you get 5 fragment slots, and on your mark, that's another thing about this. Activating your class ability gets you to ×3 on your mark, and at ×3, you get an increase to your handling and reload. It's like a watered down mini Dragon Shadow. It's great. Very fast reloads, very fast handling after you do that acrobatic dodge. Then you add in Ember of Solace. Radiant effects applied to you have an increased duration. You can also add in Benevolence. When you do this dodge around allies, you make them radiant, and you get increased grenade, melee, and class ability energy for a short time. So hold up, say you're running double kickstart, you dodge next to an ally. That 17-second dodge now turns into a 15-second dodge. And I'm gonna get into the weapons in a moment with the things that you can do, but at base here, we have a 20-second dodge. Kickstart is 18, ×2 is 17, with the fragment added, it's 15. And then you have the fragment that extends Radiant. Radiant goes on your screen for 15 seconds, so either A, at base, there's around 5 to 10 seconds where you can do it again, then become Radiant, or B, it's gonna line up pretty close. Yes, you have to be sprinting, but that's actually a good thing. You've been seeing Ace of Spades, and Ace of Spades is one of the best weapons in the game to do this with because you're able to spam Radiant Acrobatic Dodge. You can do it before a gunfight. It does 77 to the head. You have a relaxed 2 head and 1 body. That goes for any 140. But then you're going to reload. You're going to have Memento Mori, and that's going to 2-tap doing 99 to the crit. Or even better, you get into a duel, maybe get a cleanup, get an ace kill, reload, have a Memento Mori. At this point, you have double pocket damage perks because you're going to run around with Memento Mori when you see red on your radar, you're going to pop the dodge, and you're now 2-tapping on demand whenever you want to. And as you're going area to area, remember, it's a total of 20 seconds. There's going to be time passing in some duels, but you're going to be sprinting, you're going to be running. You're going to have it back in no time. And because of that, Ace is a monster. And there's a ton of weapons that 10% helps. And with Frosties, you can abuse it, really abuse it. And another thing, you're going to get in some gunfights, you're going to sprint around a little bit, it's going to get the cooldown going, but if you die in the middle, check this out. You're going to go back to spawn, and we all know Destiny spawns. You're sprinting 3 to 7 seconds to get back, and by the time you get back to mid-map, you can do it again. It's up all the time. And arguably, an even better way to run all this is with a Harmony weapon. Harmony weapons do stack with that Radiant buff. So maybe you run Ace of Spades with a Harmony Shire's Wrath. When you get a kill with Ace and you switch to that Harmony weapon, it gets both those damage buffs applied, Harmony and Radiant, and it stacks to 30%. So something like Submission, it's 19 crit at base, 25 per crit with Harmony and Radiant. And like I said, it's one of those things like, yeah, that's really good, but I'm telling you, you can do it all the time. And there's another part to this in a moment. And one of the things I do suggest that you do is actually go double Harmony. That way you can just keep switching and both weapons have 30%. Like Wolf Tone, Harmony and Radiant make it do 200. It's a one-shot bow. I really hope you see what's going on here. You can also do Classy Restoration and a Kickstart mod. The possibilities are endless. I'm really interested to see what you can come up with. It's really dominant. When you pair it with the right weapons, it's dominant. You have full control over it, and with Frosties, you can always run into a wall for a couple seconds. It's wild. And then there's Trials, and this is what pushed me to make this video, because there were the things that I was doing, but a buddy of my Jingleheimer showed up in Trials with this, and he said that he got it from a player named Wormy. Now, Wormy plays with Drew, Glow, Cammy, Exa player. Wormy was pairing it with Fourrunner, the same exact setup. And the idea with Fourrunner, you get 8 shots at the start of each round. With the Radiant damage bonus, it does 76 per crit, 42 to the body, so 194. Even in regular 6v6, there's a possibility you can 2 crit in 1 body. That's if they don't meet the resilience requirement, but in Trials, it's power enabled. I'm no raid boss, but if you are, if you're higher level than them, that 76 crit could turn to 77. 42 could turn to 43 on the body, so that 194 turns to 197. Maybe you're even higher power than them. That 76 goes to 78, 42 to 44. That's 200 damage. So you're walking around 2 crit 1 body. With Fourrunner, the idea is you're a little bit of a glass cannon, something feared, because another part of this, it's even better when you have another hunter doing this, because at the start, you can trade off who's giving who radiant. In your challenging lanes with Fourrunner, just peppering the lanes with the possibility of getting 2 crit 1 body. Now from there, after you get the final blow, you dive. It's gonna be pretty quick because you're gonna be radiant, you're going to rush, you're going to pepper him down with Fourrunner. Radiant starts at 15 seconds, maybe you're at about 10. You switch to your Harmony weapon, that lasts about 7, so you're diving with 30% more damage on Harmony. It's wild, and it's always up, because at the start of each round, because you can spread Radiant, you or your teammate's going to have it. It's always going to be up. And even if you died, again, sprinting to mid-map, taking 5 or 6 seconds, and if you have to, you're going to sprint in front of a wall for a second, you're going to have it. You Radiant and you go. And that goes for 6v6 too. If you have fire teams doing this, everybody's giving each other Radiant. And in trials, imagine 2 or 3 Fourrunners doing 76 per crit and you're facing them. Think about that. This is there. No one's paying attention. And in trials, it's downright crazy. I do encourage that you try this. Again, the only thing that you really need is 100 mobility and the Frosties with that acrobatic dodge. You do want the fragment that extends Radiant, and you can do a couple other things. But things like Thorn, DMT, a lot of base weapons allow you to have relaxed TTKs. And Radiant's up there for 15 seconds, so you can have that relaxed TTK the entire time. And when you're over, you sprint a little bit, you can do it again. But to elevate it, again, I highly encourage you to try Harmony. I've done it with some pulses, sidearms, SMGs. Like, this is a case where the Forgiveness with Harmony does quite well. And I have no idea why I haven't seen this, but in trials, you could do it solo, you could buff your team, but if you have 2 hunters doing it, or even possibly 3, you have a lot of power on your team. As far as reviews coming up, I do have Drain coming out tomorrow. Don't miss that one. There are things I go through for PvE and PvP. I do have fully crafted Firefright and Without Remorse reviews coming next week, and possibly the other exotics. There are a couple things to talk about the new Warlock one, but the Titan one, it's not too good. It's very basic, very bland, and it doesn't really work right. There's still a couple things I'm trying with it, and if it turns out that that works, I'll make a video on that. But this is here. Go out and try it. Even if you don't play trials, try it in 6v6. And this is also something you can do in PvE. I mean, you do get more damage out of Radiant in PvE. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about this down below and also talk about different weapons and combinations to pair all this with. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.